Hi friends, welcome back to Black Coffee and Grits. I'm Lisa. So it's time for a whip parade. Are you guys ready? I'm not sure I am. I'm trying to be organized and I have the whips all in these awesome bushel baskets. Yes, I have 2 bushel baskets full of whips. But before we get to that, real quickly, I want to I made an oopsie. I was telling you guys about my favorite floss, my favorite black floss, and my favorite white floss, hence the name of the channel, Black Coffee and Grits. And I was a bit nervous, on that first video. It happens. So I actually misspoke and I said that black coffee was color and cotton, but it's actually classic Colorworks floss. And I thought, since so many people were asking me about the numbers, I would just get them out and show them really quickly. So this is black coffee and it is number CCT-04. I don't typically use those numbers. I usually just go by the names, but I guess some people do. So there is black coffee and here is grits. Oh, it's so pretty. So grits is Weeks Dye Works and it is number 1092. And I will put those in the show notes too, just for reference. And I didn't actually mention the show notes in the last video, but they're there. And I try to put the patterns that I'm showing and, different floss tubers that I've mentioned or different tutorials and that kind of thing. So if you're ever looking for links or details, hashtags, all that good stuff, check the show notes. I think it depends on if you're watching it on your television or on your phone or iPad, how you access those, but typically they're below the video. So I think I took care of business. Are y'all ready for a whip parade? I am. I will warn you, there's going to be zipping and unzipping. Everything's in project bags. A lot of people like to see project bags, so I'll go ahead and show the project bags. Some of them aren't fancy, some of them are. If I know who made the bag, I'll try to give them credit. My memory doesn't always serve me well, and sometimes the bags aren't labeled, but I'll do my best. And my projects are not ironed today. So usually for a regular floss tube, I'll get everything out and I'll iron it so it looks all crisp and beautiful. But since they're all coming out of project bags, I'm not going to take the time to iron everything today. Or I didn't take the time to iron everything. Okay, I'm so excited to show you all the things. And I left my notebook over at my desk. So I don't really have the notes of all the whips, but what I tried to do was I put them in order of BAP. If you know, you know. It's a big one, a big project. I've got big projects that don't really necessarily coordinate with the season, but I'm just kind of stitching those year round. And then from there, I went in order of summer. We'll do summer, fall, winter, and spring, since that's how we're going to lead up. And I do have a lot of stuff kitted up too, but I'm not going to show kits today. It's just strictly whips. So this is stuff that I am working on or it's in progress in some form or manner. Some of these are rather old. So I also, for the really old ones, I might not have fabric and fiber details, but I'll try to give that to you guys as always if I have it, if I know it. So we're going to start with the big projects. I'm going to try to keep this family friendly. So this is a really super cute bag, so I'm going to show it off, and it does have a label on it. So it's from Cranberry Bog Cottage in Terre Haute, Indiana, and I love that little shop. I was so sad on my last road trip through. We were just running behind and didn't make it to go and see the shop because they just recently moved and I wanted to see the new shop. So I'm taking all the things out because one of the cutest parts about this vinyl front bag is the inside. Oh, that cute little rooster and the dog. I just love it. Okay, They also do really cute little zipper pulls too. I love these little felt balls. Do you guys hear the cicadas? It's still summer in Texas. Things haven't changed. Okay. No one judge me for the length of this floss, okay? Also, this project was the very first time that I actually used floss drops, and so I have a whole mix of floss drops from friends. I decided to do this when I was at the Stitch Etc. retreat, the very first retreat I went on up in Greenwood, Indiana, I believe. So anyway, just like everybody who gave me floss drops on that weekend, I basically just tried to use some of those and then whatever else I had. I did make a cute little cabochon floss tag for this too. So let me get to the project. You probably are dying to know what is in this bag. The bag contains some more floss. The bag contains the Farms of Hawk Run Hollow, and I have been stitching on this since Mania of 2022, so quite a little while. I'm stitching it in this orientation. You can also stitch it like this. So this is the way I saw it first at the Silver Needle up in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Excuse me, my throat's a little dry this morning. Now let me show you the stitch. I've made some pretty good progress. You know, I thought when I first started this, oh, I'll finish that like in a year. Yeah, that didn't happen because, you know, whips happen. Let me tell you the fabric really quick while I've got the tag out. The fabric, I'm stitching it on Latte by Fiber on a Whim with all the called for DMCs. And I didn't switch out the black on this one. I am using 310. So I've completed, I started with the chicken block, the Wednesday block, and then I started moving, you know, down the row here. And I made my way over here to the livestock block back in the spring, and I really haven't stitched on this too much. I'm in a little stitching group, but the summer was crazy, and every time it was the stitching group Zoom night, I wasn't able, not every time, but most of the times I wasn't able to hop on, sadly. But my goal was to get everything outlined, and then I would start maybe working a little bit on each day, maybe, of the week. We'll see. I don't know. How do you guys bite off big projects? Do you keep up a schedule? Do you work on it a certain day of the month or just when you're in the mood? When it strikes you? The flosses are really pretty on this. I'm also going to be putting things back as I go because I don't want a giant mess at the end of this. So, bear with me, and I'll try to stay organized. Okay. The next project is in this cute little fishing bag that I got from the Stitch Niche. And forgive me, I can't remember the name of the lady who makes these, but they carry them in their shop, and I bought it up at, when I was at the Stitching Bee retreat, they had several bags, and I just felt it had my name on it. So some of you might be familiar with the sale that started while I was at Stitching Bee. It has a hashtag, Lisa made me do it. And you guys, it was really not my fault. We went in the Silver Needle and the model for this was there and it was just beautiful. And so I guess you can blame it on me, but I'm blaming it on the Silver Needle. So this is American Flag Quilt Sampler by Rosewood Manor. And they just actually re-released this chart. And it's supposed to be bigger and better with better instructions because there's a lot of backstitch in this and a lot of different colors on the backstitch. So I guess they've improved the directions, and I can't wait to check that out and see how it compares. But I have the old chart. I might pop in a picture of this just if it doesn't show up well, because it's such a pretty piece and it's hard to see otherwise. So my table went on a trip to the Silver Needle, and we just fell in love with this. And so we all kitted it up that weekend, and it was so fun. We had a great time. We went on a field trip to, I can't remember if we went to Joann's or Hobby Lobby or where we went to grab our DMC, but we took a little field trip, and it was so, like I said, it was so fun. So I'm stitching this on one more reproduction, which I think is a Be Stitch Me fabric, but it's not written on this tag. I got this at the Silver Needle. It's an 18 count Aida. Sometimes, like I said, I go for Aida. Sometimes I go for linen. It just depends on the mood I'm in. So this is how far I've gotten. I know, not very far on this big, big, big project. But I did fully complete the Delaware square, the quilt star, and all the back stitching and everything. So I need to get back on this. Let me show you the flosses too. Oh my word, I will definitely be editing that out. So there was a big thud on the porch because we got a delivery, and that ensued a barking frenzy. So sorry about that. So actually, I don't actually have all these dropped onto floss drops yet. This looks like a project I need to do, but I've got all the DMCs here. We kitted this up in the DMCs, all the called fors. So that looks like a project for me to complete here. And I want to get on this because, again, if we did one of these a week, we would be finished in a year. Is that really attainable? Well, I don't know. It might take a little longer than a year to finish that one. Totally okay though, right? Nobody said there was a ticking time bomb on whips, that they were going to implode or something if we didn't finish them in time. Okay, this bag has been around for a while. I think I got it at the Stitch Niche, but I can't remember. It's a winter bag. I actually don't know why this project landed in this bag, except that maybe it was just an open bag because it's not wintry in the least. Ooh, I found a pair of scissors. You guys, I'm kind of a messy stitcher sometimes. I want to be organized, but I don't always take the time to do it because sometimes I'm just so excited about stitching that this happens. Like all the flosses just got thrown in here. Oh, and I'm doing a major floss conversion on this. So back up, let me tell you what this is. This is a Told in a Garden pattern, and there is a sale going on with Missy of 2 Needles Pulling Thread and Joy from the Carolina Stitchers. They started a sale called TIAG with Friends. So TIAG short for Told in a Garden with Friends. So I love Told in a Garden. This is Brown Swiss Dairy. I don't know if you can read that, so let me tell you. This is Brown Swiss Dairy. It's going to be super cute. The pictures on these older patterns are not great. Maybe I'll pop in a picture of it too if I can find a picture of it. But I decided to update the colors on this. So stay tuned for that because I will share my colors. I'm also stitching this on a piece of Blue Ridge by Atomic Ranch 28 count linen. And I don't have a lot of progress on it. It looks like I've just gotten a tree in, but this is going to be beautiful. And I can't wait to get to that big old barn. So I have lots of Told in a Garden patterns. One day we will get to stitch them all. Okay, the next project is another big one. And this is in a bag from the Stitchy Sassenach, Melanie Henson. She lists her bags on CrossStitch Unload and D-Stash, if you're in those Facebook groups. Also, she has an Etsy shop. So sometimes she lists bags here or there, and it just depends on where I see them, where I end up buying them. But this is a really cute Alice in Wonderland bag, and I just fell in love with it. It's so cute. I love Alice in Wonderland. This contains another big dog, a long dog. And I'm not sure, this was a PDF. Oh yes, I do have. It's a big one. If you know, you know. So it's Pandemic by Long Dog Samplers. I started this in January. Actually, I think I started on New Year's Eve, somewhere right around the new year. And it takes a lot of floss. So I keep collecting skeins. I'm stitching mine in DMC number 29, which is this beautiful kind of eggplant. And please forgive me. I do not know the name of this fabric, and it is absolutely gorgeous, but I could probably try and find out because I bought it from Mary, who is doing a D-Stash sale over at the Silver Needle, so she might remember. I'll try to ask her so we can know, because it is beautiful, and the dyer really needs credit for this. So it's actually a really long piece. It's got all this beautiful modeling on it, like shades of that beautiful plum and kind of green and a little bit of like a dusty, I don't know, gray. So let me see if I can fold this up again so you can see maybe the progress just a little bit better. I can zoom in. Here's where I've gotten. Not too far. I really had told myself that I was going to put one thread a day in on this, and it hasn't happened. But it's a really cool project, and I got so cracked up because the other day my aunt came over and she was like, "Hey, are you finished with that one that you were stitching on purple?" And I was like, what is she talking about? I had, it had fallen out of my brain. And I was like, and then when I realized that she was talking about Pandemic, I almost died laughing. I was like, oh no, I'll be working on that for a while. That's not going to be, I'm sure some people have completed it in a year, but it's not looking like that's going to happen for me. So I counted up my whips, or what I had on my sheet. I'm pretty good about keeping up with all the whips that I have, I think. I should have brought that sheet over here and been updating it as we went, because I do know, because I found this, that there's some that are not on there, but I have 20-ish whips, which is manageable to me. And what I do to try to knock some off, I haven't been good at knocking, crossing off the big projects yet, but what I try to do with the other seasonal projects is that I just kind of focus on one or two or three, at a time per season. Does that make sense? And then I think I'm pretty good at finishing things, so that's good. So this isn't on my whip list, partly because I didn't actually start this piece. Someone came into our stitch group, one of the sit and stitch groups that I go to is over at the Burleson Public Library. It's the third Friday of each month from 10 to 1, and I'll put the details for that down in the comments too, in case you're local and you want to come to that. But a lady came in and she was like, I'm not even going to stay and stitch, but she was like, I saw that this was happening, and she was like, I started this cross stitch and I'm never going to finish it, and I would just like to hand it off to someone that will. So I thought that was so cool because, you don't want to just throw your stuff away, right? And if you're not in a community where you see people, you're like, what do I do with this? So this is adorable. This is a just cross stitch kit called Color Blocks, Mickey and the Gang. And of course, with all those bright colors, this was right up my alley. Now, she had stitched quite a bit on it already, and when she gave it to me, I know I stitched some more on it, but I couldn't tell you what I did exactly. I do want to try to update this just a tad and maybe not do so much of the back stitching. So we'll see. But it looks like it was just a kit, so I'm stitching it with the kit flosses. That might have been another reason why I put this away. The kit flosses, they're just like in a Ziploc baggie. I wonder if it might tell us what the DNCs are. I don't know. That's a project for another day. But at the time when she gave this to me, we were planning a family trip to Disney, and so I actually took it with us and I stitched on it at Disney. And you know how Disney tired is Disney tired? You take CrossStitch with you and you're like, this is a joke. There's no way. I'm too tired to think, much less stitch. You just want to eat, put your feet up, watch a little TV, and go to bed. Okay, so I think that's it. Well, obviously, I didn't have that many really big projects, did I? The Farms at Hawk Run, pandemic. Toll in the Garden, I considered that to be a fairly big project. And let's in the flags. American flag quilt sampler. Oh mercy. So we're getting into just the summer projects now. And this is not a fancy bag, but these are nice. This I started stitching as a project that I might want to put into the state fair. And I know I did pick my own flosses for this too. So this is Little House Needleworks State Fair. I picked this up at the Silver Needle. I saw it stitched up there. I thought it was too cute. I am keeping up with my flosses on a card. I do not know what this fabric is though, because it's a scrap. And it looks like it might be bramble. I'm pretty sure it is. I've stitched a lot of stuff on bramble because I bought a full yard of it. So this is my progress. I picked this up this summer a little bit and put a few more stitches on it. And really this isn't a big project. It shouldn't take that long to finish, but I had intended to maybe enter it into the state fair. Maybe one day. I'll get into that. I saw so many people this summer doing that, and it just looks so fun. The state fair is like a nostalgic thing for me. I don't know. That's a really fun thing. When I was a kid, I was in 4-H club, and I actually, maybe if I can find a picture, I'll put in a picture because you guys probably wouldn't ever guess this or believe this about me because I'm tiny. But I actually raised a steer one year and showed him. He was really a big dude, and his name was Buster. It was so fun. I, over the years, participated in a lot of different 4-H activities, including showing crops and, oh my goodness, photography club and all kinds of things. It was super fun. I didn't show Buster at any really big stock shows, but I did show him in our local Parker County stock show. Oh, super cute bag alert. This is from my friend Maria, who actually just started making her own cross-stitch patterns, and they're being released at Needlework Market, which I think is going on this weekend. Or actually, I'm pre-recording this, so it will have been, by the time you see this video, it'll be last weekend that Needlework Market was going on. So did you get anything from Needlework Market? I keep eyeing all kinds of cute stuff. But anyways, Maria made this bag, this project bag. She's local to me. Her bag company is called Mystic Meadows. No S on that. Meadow Creations. And I just love this chicken pattern. It's so cute. And the inside is really cute too, because you know what it is? Oops, sorry. It's a black and white. Isn't that fun? And it reminds me of like chicken feathers. So it would house a chicken project naturally. This is Red, White, and Bantam from Stitching with the Housewives, and this was a PDF printout, so sorry it's not super high quality, but I love that they do that. And I just have a whole bunch of flosses with a little cabochon that I made. I wish I would have put this the other direction, but it says Stitching with the Housewives on the little cabochon. It's like their logo. And I just keep this out because I stitched quite a few of their patterns, and it, you know, Priscilla kind of uses the same colors over and over again, so it's just helpful to just have that. So I decided to stitch this one on a piece of 28 count black Monaco. It's just Charles Craft, and I believe I'm using all the called for on that. So she's so cute. She's gonna be. I love those sunflowers. I've stitched quite a few of Priscilla's patterns, and I have them hanging on this column in my house that I change out seasonally. So I have the Scarecrow, I can't think of his name right now, for fall. I can't remember if I stitched a winter one or not. I have Peter Cottontail for spring, so I wanted this for summer. Red, White, and Bantam. She's going to be adorable. I can't believe I didn't finish that this summer. But I did have a lot of finishes, right? So, a really old project that I have. And this one, I have mixed feelings about this project because I didn't love the fibers at first that were kitted with it. It was a kit from the Rocking Horse up in Michigan. And sadly, this place has gone out of business, but it used to be a place that I would visit whenever I would go up, when we would go up and visit Tyler's family in Michigan. But they had these store exclusive kits, and it came with the little frame and the fabric and all the floss and everything. And it comes with beads. And I did bead some, but I kind of found out that I don't love it. It's okay, and I can do it, but I don't love it. So I was struggling, and also there's a metallic thread in here that I didn't love, and so I was just having a lot of trouble working with it. You know, the floss has gone out of this. That's a little concerning. But I went and picked up this DMC. It's E677, and it's kind of a metallic silver and gold. I don't know what you call this. It's definitely a specialty floss. But I started working with it a little bit, and I think it's going to be a little bit better. Oh my word. I have a needle in this that was telling me which direction was up. This is one of those patterns that, you know, it goes in a circle. And so I probably need to put something behind this so that you can see it better. See if I can grab a piece of paper. Okay, that's a little better. So, you know, it's radial. It's very repetitive. You're stitching the same thing over and over again. And basically, I'm down to the part where I need to put in all those fireworks. And so it's a lot of beading, and I don't know. I got frustrated with the fibers, and then I just kind of put it away. And I do think it's a really cool piece, and you know, we're in an election year, so feeling patriotic, and maybe I'll knock it out. I don't know. I'm not feeling super motivated to work on it, if I'm honest. But I don't want to just pitch it either, so it's just hanging out, and that's okay. It's hanging out. Another beautiful bag, and I made sure to keep the tag on this time because I got this from, sorry, let me get this stuff out so I'm not making so much noise because the pretty part is on the inside of the vinyl. I made sure to keep the tag on this time. This came from Color and Cotton, the actual shop up in Missouri, in St. Louis, Missouri, and the maker is Straight from the Heart by Sue. Straight from the Heart by Sue. And she does really nice quality bags. This was so cute. It was red, white, and blue and just perfect for this. Look at this. Look at me being organized. I did a color conversion for this pattern. Let me, I don't know if I'm going to have... Darn, I'll pop in a picture because I have a printed copy and I don't think I have the front sheet. So I'll pop in a picture of what this looks like. It is 4th of July Rules by Primrose Cottage Stitches. Such a cute pattern, and I have stitched a lot of, I stitched high rules and I've stitched a lot of their patterns. But so I kitted this up with the color and cotton conversion, which I think is shared up on their website. So I'm using color and cotton flosses for the most part, but I did use grits because grits, and I don't think that was the called for. I did substitute out, I think, one of the blues just because it fought with my particular fabric. So fabric I'm also stitching on from color and cotton. It is a 36 count solo die. So sometimes I think they just have one-offs, and this is one of those that I picked up in the shop. So it's a really pretty blue, and I was struggling with whether or not my colors were popping off, and honestly, I don't really love stitching on 36 count. It's not bad, but I'm one of those weirdos, I guess, because I hear so many people say, I just love stitching with one strand of floss, and if I can get away with it, I do. And once they've kind of gone to one strand, they don't really want to go back. But I like stitching with 2 strands of floss. I guess I don't know. I feel like one strand is so dainty, like I have to be careful with it. Whereas 2 strands, I can be, I don't know. Maybe I like to tug on it, the threads a little bit more. I don't know. Anyway, I kind of stopped on this because I was struggling with whether or not I could see it well and if I was enjoying it. If you're going to invest hours and hours in something, you want to enjoy it. So I might change fabrics. Maybe I'll gift someone else this 36 count that loves to stitch with one strand. Did I show you these flosses? I don't know if I did. They're so pretty. I'm not really sure how well these are showing up either, but oh, so pretty. Maybe if I twist them, you can see all the colors. Okay, keep going, darling. We can do this. That was a pep talk to myself. Ooh, this is a Blackbird. This is just in one of the bags from Container Store. A little bit higher quality plastic bag than the ones from Amazon, but rather inexpensive. So I bought this pattern over the summer. Oh, Joyous Day. Actually, I think I'm telling a lie. Yes, no, it wasn't summer, it was spring. I bought this in the spring when I was up in Utah. Oh Joyous Day by Blackbird Designs. And I kitted it up and I started stitching on it the other day. Do I have a note about the fabric? Oh, fire me. What is this? Oh, there is a tag on it. This is Picture This Plus 32 count vellum. It's really pretty. You know what I think I've also decided? I like the hand of 32 count. It feels a little different. Okay, so this is my wee progress that I got on this. But I just love this, and I love the colors, and I did kit it up with all the beautiful called for flosses. Let me see if I can show you these. Oh, they're beautiful. It's a mix of Week Styleworks, Classic Colorworks, Gentle Arts, but they're all the called for. Oh, and they're so, so pretty. Just lovely. Just lovely. I decided, because I've been on such a Blackbird kick, that I want to keep a Blackbird going kind of like at all times. Would you guys consider that a summery one or a spring one? I guess it really doesn't matter. I started it in the summer, so I put it in the summer projects. Oh, hopefully I didn't just nail the table. Okay, so that's it for summer whips and big projects. And I have just one spring project that I'm going to put here so that I don't forget it. And now we're going to go into fall, and I love fall. I love to stitch fall. It's my favorite season. I have a lot of stuff over here that I started kitting up this week. So we'll go through the fall, and then I have a few Christmas, and I think maybe just one winter whip. And then I feel like this is going faster than I expected it to. What is in here? Oh, there's actually 2 projects in here, but only one of them is actually in progress. Oh, are there 2 things in here in progress? I'm not sure. So this is just in an Amazon bag. Oh goodness. So this is the monthly weigh-in series from Stitching with the Housewives. And I've bought some of the pattern, like what do you call these? Some of the actual patterns, and some I bought PDFs. I think the November one is a PDF. Oh, but I did print, no, that's September, just fine. I'll put in a picture because I can dig in this bag for days. And that's boring. And sometimes you can just see the chart better anyways in a picture. So I started this series and I'm stitching on the November piece. And this looks like it's a piece of 28 count Monaco. I kind of tried to stick, and I think I'm using mostly the called for colors, mostly the called for flosses. Nope, lying to you. I did a floss conversion with color and cotton, but it is 28 count Monaco tea-dyed from Charles Craft. So look, I actually made a card for it. Did I write down any of the floss conversion colors? No, I didn't. Can I advise you, as someone who has stitched for a while, that if you put something away because it's in timeout, to make yourself a note as to why you put it away. If there's a mistake or something and you're just frustrated and you don't want to deal with it, because later when you go back to it, you might forget why you did that. But also, if you started changing colors, make notes at the beginning, because especially when you have a whole series like I do here, I think these are the flosses that I pulled for it, but I don't know. And there's other floss in this bag too. Actually, here's the other ones. These are the ones that are for it, because it looks like it. Okay, but that's my homework, is that I need to go and write that down, so it's not a mystery when I pick it up and I want to stitch on it again. Especially when there's so many projects in one bag, project bag. I don't necessarily usually do that, put more than one project in a bag, except that that's just a series, and it just made sense to me. Oh my goodness, look what just fell out of the bag. I told you, I can be a messy stitcher. I sometimes create little rat's nests. I'm trying to do better, but I don't always. Sometimes I'm just in a hurry and I want to see my stitch come to life. Okay, this is a really fun one in a really fun bag. This is a Penny and Toonie bag from Etsy. It is that really adorable Teresa Kogut fabric with the witches Don't you just love it? And it houses this book, Teresa Kogut's Hello Halloween, and I am stitching the sampler, this big dog. I call it Hello Halloween Sampler. She calls it Halloween Sampler. So I've made pretty good progress on this too. And I actually got it out recently because this is one that I did say to myself, you need to get this out twice a month because otherwise you're going to be stitching on this for way too long if you just try to stitch it in season. And I want to finish it so I can display it. So on the 13th and the 31st of the last couple months, I've gotten this out and put some stitches in on it. Let me see if I can tell you. I'm stitching this on, oh, isn't it good? I'm stitching this on Under the Sea Properly Primitive 20 count Ada with all the called for flosses, I believe. Yes. And that's a mix of like classic Colorworks, DMCs, and Weeks Dye Works flosses. Oh, isn't it good? So this last, like, I guess session, I finished this whole block and these cats on the outside. And I think I finished also the little pumpkins down below that they're standing on. Isn't it fun? Let me show you this middle section up close too. I remember stitching on that H and it was so many stitches. I think I ended up counting it at over 500 stitches. And then look at the house. Oh, it's so good. So there's a lot of repetition in this, but I thought it was such a fun piece. And I did make a cute little cabochon for my floss drops, my mess of floss. It's not that bad, but now I've learned to cut my floss shorter than this. I used to just leave it super, super long. We do evolve and change on some things. Trying to put my cards in these project bags as we go. Oh my goodness, the cicadas are getting loud. Okay, another beautiful Mystic Meadow Creations bag. This one's got these beautiful mauves on it, and I fell in love with the colors. And it's got this beautiful, like, just metallic printing on the... I'm not laughing at myself, I'm laughing with myself. If you saw the situation here, you would just... Some of these are on floss drops, but some of the DMC is just thrown into the bag here. But I wanted to show you the inside of the bag. It's really pretty too. It's got this beautiful kind of printed metallic gold on the fabric. So this is, oh, I was like, where is the pattern? Here it is. This is Babushka's Blossoms by Plum Street samplers, and I'm using the Called For Classic Colorworks, Gentle Arts, and DMC. And I'm stitching it on Fiber on a Whim Latte. So it looks like I made notes of that. And this is my progress. I really want to finish this. I want to get to the Babushka. I have the coolest pumpkin. I should have brought that down. Finishing piece. It's like a wooden, like old barnwood. I found it at an estate sale. Shaped into a pumpkin. It's so cute. And I want to use that for finishing this. So I need to, this is on my must finish this year list. Hope to finish this year. Ooh, I hate to get myself deadlines. Okay, this is another Straight from the Heart by Sue project bag that I picked up at Color and Cotton. Ooh, isn't it fun? She does the funnest little tassels and zipper pulls. The inside is super fun too. It's all words. like different Halloween words. Okay, what's in here? This is Bobbing for Pumpkins. Let me show it to you this direction. From, is this With Thy Needle and Thread or Brenda Gervais? Designed by Brenda Gervais. I know she has a couple of different labels. So I actually have good notes because some of the colors I had to substitute because my LNS didn't have all the floss, so we made some changes. This is embarrassing. Oh my goodness. Hey, but they're all on a floss ring, so there's just a few extra strands hanging out. Did I tell you what the fabric was on this? I didn't. It's stitched on 32 count Hazelwood by Fiber on a Whim, and I love this fabric. Let me hold it up on this bag so we can see it better. Isn't that pretty? So this is being stitched with, it's on 32 count, but it's just 1/2. And I like how it's turning out. Even though, like I said, I would really prefer to stitch with 2 strands of floss. Okay, that's all for fall whips. So that means I can do a lot of fall starts, right? I actually have some things kitted up over there, and I can't wait. I'm not sure how much longer I'm gonna stitch on summer. I had something that I started this week that's upstairs. I'll go grab it and show it at the very end. Because I had one more thing I wanted to stitch this summer that was just, it's been on my list for a while, and I was like, I really want to get this done. Okay, so now we're going into Christmas. So back in Mania of 2022, I started this Christmas Rules by Primrose Cottage Stitches, and it was Mania, so don't judge, okay? The floss is just down in this. This is a really cute bag. I don't know who made this, but my friend Annie, oh my goodness. She's a floss tuber, and she hasn't made floss tubes in a bit, so the name of her channel is slipping my mind. Oh, that's going to make me nuts, but I'll pop it in. I'll pop it in below because she hasn't made floss tubes in a bit, but you know, you can still go back and watch the old ones, and they're fun. She and my son, her daughter and my son, they went to school together, and we just obviously shared this love of CrossStitch. So she was so sweet, and she gave me this bag, and it's really fun. It's like padded, but I like it how it's just like a little portfolio, like you can just pop into it, no zipper or anything. So it looks like I'm stitching with with the called for DMCs, and then there's a couple of overdyes. There's Gentle Art Cranberry and Week Styleworks Cocoa. I probably pulled those. It really doesn't matter though, because I literally have 1 C on this. That is a pathetic start. I'm stitching this on 32 count Cream and Sugar from Fiber on a Whim. So not too much progress there. I'll tell you what I did though. I also stitched, well, you're about to see it. So I also started the Lizzie Kate Christmas Rules, and so I was conflicted because I'm like, do I need both of these? I could gift it though. I could gift it to someone else. My mom would probably love it. Oh, since I was just talking about it, let's go ahead and grab that one. Oh, Annie, that's making me crazy that I can't think of your channel. I'm not sure who made this bag. I think I got this one from Stitch Niche. It's a buffalo check on the outside. And on the inside it's like a little Christmas scene with red trucks, and I should say winter scene. It's not even that Christmassy. It's got a snowman. It does have trees in the back of the truck though. I mean, why would you haul a tree otherwise if it weren't Christmas? So This is Lizzie Kate's Christmas rules. And some buttons I found. So it's a whole bunch of little charts that make this up. And on the Lizzie Kate website, they have a free topper that you can go and print out, and like the instructions for stitching it all together. And so it tells you what order to put the charts. I'll probably pop in a picture of it because it's hard to see, but there are, I guess, 6 of them. And my sweet friend Sue Anderson gave me this. I stitched the Halloween rules from Lizzie Kate. It turned out so cute. And so, actually, the reason why I started the Primrose one is because at the time, I couldn't get all of the Lizzie Kate charts for this one. And I was telling Sue, and she was like, oh, I stitched that, and you can have them because I'm done with it. I'm not going to stitch it again. So she gave it to me. So let's see. I started this on a piece of 32 count Bramble by Picture This Plus. And I am using a mix of color and cotton with some of the Called For Weeks Dye Works. And I'm not sure. I did make some changes. I do know that I listed all those changes that I made on Instagram if you want to check that out. The floss is somewhat a mess. I guess you guys will just come to expect that from me. I'll try to do better. So, because I do think it's so fun when people show their floss and you can see all the colors. It's so pretty. Maybe if I'm showing it before I've started stitching with it. Okay, one more time on this. It's so cute. And these go pretty fast. So I will probably get back to this around Thanksgiving. I don't know. I might get a wild hair. We'll see. That's the only bad thing about stitching in season. It's like you want to put it up, but it's not done yet. I guess that's a good thing about keeping that pile, though, because then you have a sense of that satisfaction of like FFOing something and getting to hang it up right away and display it, and then also stitching in season. I feel like there's a weird light on my head. Do you guys see that? I'm sure that has been there the whole time and I just now noticed it. I don't think I'm in danger. I think that's actually coming from the sun somewhere, but okay, we're almost done. Bear with me with my silliness. Okay, Penny and Toonie bag. Isn't this cute? It looks like a little village. This houses a super fun project that I actually ended up, oh goodness, and I don't have the chart of it either. I'm going to pop it in here because what I did was, this is multiple charts again, and I ended up making like a working copy and taping it together so that I could lay it out the way that I wanted it. So, and obviously when you have that many charts in a project bag, it starts to get heavy. I took this with me to one of the retreats this summer, the Chatterbox retreat at Boxcar. It was Christmas in July themed, so I was like, yeah, I need to stitch a Christmas whip. Also, I had this out because it goes along with the block sale that was going on over the summer that Missy with 2 needles pulling thread and Joy from the Carolina Stitchers. They had this idea to do projects that were all blocks. So building block sale, I believe that's what it was called. Again, I'll pop the hashtag below because I don't have a good memory. And did I write it down? Maybe. And do I have the notes? Maybe. Actually, I started this project over at one point, so I'm not sure if I've made another card to go with it yet. But I took the hoop off because I wanted to show you how far I've gotten. I've completed, I need to tell you what this is. Good gravy. Back up the boat. This is Little House Needleworks Farmhouse Christmas series. And it's 9 charts, but I'm actually only doing 8 of them because I am going to leave out the quilt block because I wanted to make this look like a village. I never collected a village, but I always admired those. And I thought, well, this is the way to have a village that I can put up, but it's cross-stitch and it's up on the wall. Forgive the wrinkles. I'm stitching this on raw linen from Zweigart, and I love it. I love raw linen because it just looks like, I don't know, it just looks like an old barnwood kind of fabric. And there is floss everywhere. I did substitute, I can't find my card on this, but I know I did substitute some coloring cottons. I substituted the white, I'm using picket fence. I know, it's not grits, what's wrong with me? I was trying to use up some of my coloring cotton stash. I've had a coloring cotton subscription for quite a while, and it looks like the rest of them are, nope, the green is coloring cotton ivy. Let's see if you can see that. And the rest look like they're the called for classic Colorworks and DMCs. This is a little less embarrassing as far as a rat's nest goes. Okay, one more time. Oh, it's so cute. And I want to get back to this too. And the other thing that I thought about doing for this one is stitching it on the 25th or just something Christmas on the 25th of each month. And then I can pretty much be seasonal, but then occasionally pop in one of those bigger projects. I just zipped up some floss in the zipper. Okay, well, I'll have to deal with that later. I think I've made it a giant mess. Oh no, I was able to get it out. I think that was the... Do you keep needles in your projects? I'm really bad about that. Oh, and you might have seen this, and I'll talk about it since I took it off this project. This is my Nurge hoop, one of them. This is the number 2 Nurge hoop. Love it. So it's staying with that project for now. Okay. I shouldn't say one more because I have to go rescue that one from upstairs. This is the spring project that I have. I'm calling it spring. Technically, it's probably not, but I started it in the spring. And the reason why I started it in the spring is because it had a rainbow, and so I started on St. Patrick's Day. So this is Silver Creek Samplers. Oh, what is this called? Trying not to show the chart. I don't see a name for this, but the quote on the front, it's Dorothy's Discovery. I do know the name of it, but I couldn't tell you why I know that. It must be on the back of the pattern. The quote says, the power is there whenever you choose. It's found in the heart, not in your shoes. Isn't this cute? Oh my gosh, I love The Wizard of Oz. So it's like the bottom of Dorothy's dress with Toto. So sweet. It's one of my very favorite movies. Okay. I feel like I've gone to confession. Now I need to literally go and get rings for every single one of these projects and diligently go through them. And I was literally mid-stitch on this when I stopped. I usually start top left, but it looks like I started bottom left on this because I started with her shoes. What am I stitching this on? Do I have a note for that? I feel like this is a big old piece of fabric, so there's probably a tag on it somewhere. I believe there is not a tag on it. I believe this is Cream and Sugar by Fiber on a Whim, and it is Ada. And shame on me for not writing it down, but I didn't. So here's my progress, not too much progress. I know what happened. When I started this, my dad had just had some heart trouble. So I was very distracted. But I had written it down that I wanted to start it, and I'm pretty sure I'm just stitching it with all the called for, it looks like. Gentle Arts, Week Styleworks, DMCs, and then there is this really fun treasure braid for her shoes. It's so pretty. I was trying to look and see if it had a color name. PB07. It's stamped on there, but it's hard to read. Isn't that fun? Love that sparkly floss. Okay, so homework is to... Oh, and I didn't show you this pretty project bag. This is another one from Cranberry Bog Cottage up in Terre Haute. Doesn't necessarily coordinate, but that's okay. Do you feel like your project bags all need to match your projects? I can see where it's fun because I do it too, but then sometimes I'm like, holy crow, I got a lot of projects. Oh my gosh, there's 2 more whips hiding here. I did a terrible job of keeping things in order. There's 1 more Christmas bag. This came from the Stitch Etc. retreat. It's a cute little project bag with the trucks. I know why I didn't show this. Not real proud of my progress on this. This is a Mill Hill Santa, Southwest Santas. I decided to stitch this on not the perforated paper, but I think this is a piece of 10 count. This is pre-Flosstube, so I don't have any notes on that, but I didn't get very far. I only got the hat started. Since then, I have watched, I did put all my floss on floss drops, and I labeled them because when I first started this, the Mill Hill kit, I hadn't watched Helen D's tutorial about how to organize a Mill Hill kit, and so I was just floundering, and I got frustrated. So I went back and I organized it, and I realized I had used the wrong green, and again, I should have put notes in this bag because I can't remember if I stitched the hat with the right green or if I need to go back and pick that out again. So I don't even think this is technically on my whip list because I feel like I had to start it over. But I do have 1 more winter whip, and I want to show you this, and then I'll go grab the last summer piece. I keep saying that, not going. So my friend Missy from 2 Needles Pulling Thread gifted me this at Stitch Away, and it was perfect because I got to actually stitch it when it was snowing. This is a pattern from the camping stitcher called Snowman Quaker. Isn't that going to be so cute? And I started it when it was snowing. It doesn't snow in Texas very often. Let me show you what I have. So I'm stitching this on a piece of limited edition color and cotton fabric. It's a really pretty like blue gray, which reminds me of a winter sky. And then I'm just gonna stitch the whole thing with this 1 skein of floss. It's called Tinsel by Color and Cotton. So I'll get back to that in winter. And please hold. Okay, do you have a 2-story house? Do you have upstairs stitching and downstairs stitching? This is a real problem. I do. And sometimes I'm done going up and down the stairs. So another little series that I've been stitching. Oh, and this is in a really cute bag. Let me show you the bag too. This has got all the things in it. This is in a Dot Dot Goose bag that was gifted to me by my friend Tammy. She's such a sweetheart. So it's the honeycomb bag with all the bees. I think this one might still be available too. It was a while back. So cute. So it houses Little House Needleworks Summer ABCs. I just started this. I've been stitching this series, or I want to stitch the whole series. I've only completed the spring one. But this week, I was like, okay, you need one more summer whip, and then we can move on to fall because it's really still hot here. So I'm literally like mid-stitch. Something must have interrupted me. But this is how far I've gotten on it. And I'm stitching it with, I think, mostly Priscilla's color conversion from stitching with the Housewives, and then maybe Black Coffee and Grits. Yeah. I did Black Coffee and Grits instead of the colors that she suggested, but otherwise it's her colors. So I'm kind of gonna make some decisions as I go and stitch this. I know that she had like charted some stuff herself and like changed things, and I'm probably not gonna make all those changes because obviously I've already stitched the apples, and I think she changed hers and started with bees. But I'm stitching this on Fiber on a Whim Milk and Honey. Such a pretty fabric. But I'm not sure exactly what all I want to, you know, change up on this one. I know a lot of people have recharted lots of cute things, and sometimes whenever that happens, I start getting like, oh, I love that, and I love that, and I love that. And you want to do them all, but you can't because you have to make a decision somewhere. Oh, while we're at it, this is a beautiful Hardwick hoop that I'm using to stitch with, and I just took out my very favorite scissors, which are super sharp. How can I show these? They are my Dovos. And Susan Coates, who works at Keepsakes, told me about these. She was like, oh, you're going to the Silver Needle, you need to pick up some Dovos. And at the time, they had made up, I guess, a limited number of these scissors, and they were almost gone. So I got one of the last pairs, but since then they have they've made some more. They are not this finish though. They're not this brushed gold. I believe they're just stainless. I'm considering getting another pair, a backup pair, because I do love these so much. So these are my scissors that I tote everywhere, and they're my favorites. I do have other scissors too, but other cute ones. I think I told you all the things. I'm thinking in my mind, what did I do? What did I not do? What else do I need to tell you? So I'm just getting started with this channel. So I did if you didn't already see it, I did already release a finish parade for my finishes over the summer. And today was a whip parade. And I think maybe starting next month, which will be what? We're in August. So maybe at the end of September, I will create a video that's like a regular floss tube, if that makes sense. And I toyed around with the idea of showing you like everything that's in the to be FFO'd pile, as well as maybe a haul video, because I have a lot of fun haul from the summer that I collected, and I have it all laid out. So I think I probably will do that. So if you like haul, you'll want to check that out. Like I said, going forward after this, I'll probably still do another whip parade, but it'll be a while before we do that again. Maybe every 6 months, annually, something like that. I don't know. Like I said, stay tuned. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you enjoyed the content, I hope that you would. And I think that's all for now. Happy stitching. Bye.